came. I'm trying to cop me a new chain. And with the block we move things. Black mask, call me Bruce Wayne.
Welcome back to BlazinGames. Today we're going to be talking about some more Marvel Vs Capcom 4. But before we get into this video, make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, make sure the notification bell is turned all the way on so you don't miss out on any more of my videos, or you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Now, last week we was talking about the Marvel vs Capcom 4 being in development. So I thought that I would help Capcom out, being a nice, generous person that I am, that I will help them out and try to give them some ideas on how to build a character roster. A character roster that everybody might feel satisfied and enjoy and like. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom has the potential to have a big, massive roster. Something like Smash Brothers did, Ultimate Smash. Because Ultimate Smash has every character you could think of. And Marvel vs. Capcom can have that same variety with Capcom and with Marvel. Now, when Marvel vs. Capcom 1 came out, you had a short roster of characters. You know, everybody didn't join the cast that people would like, but you know, it was good enough. They had the best of the best. And you know, it was some other characters you can use. You know, they had Evil Zangief, Evil Chun-Li, Evil Ryu. They had Evil Ryu. They had Ken. Well, basically, Evil Ryu was basically Akuma, but you get the gist of it. You know, Venom was Carnage. Mega Man could turn in. I think he was Mega Man X or Zero. One of them. It was one or the other. Then you had Gold Iron Man and everything else. Then we got Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and we had a variety of characters. Like, this is one of the biggest Marvel vs. Capcom rosters in history. I don't think they can top it, but I think if they wanted to top it, Marvel vs. Capcom 4 will be the one to do. And I'm calling it Marvel vs. Capcom 4 because if we don't call it Marvel vs. Capcom 4, we got to announce the fact that we had Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and I just don't want to do that. But and when you look at the rosters, you like who's who? Who can be in this roster of characters? Who should we get? It should be some returning characters. It should be some new characters. And you know, with this day and age, we have plenty of room for DLC, as you can pretty much see with all the other games. Because Capcom do have big rosters. They did it before with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They also did it with some other fighting games that we will talk about. They did it. They had it was a pretty healthy roster in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You know, you had some questionable characters that people didn't want, and some people that was like, "Oh snap, this is cool." Like me personally, I don't really think Firebrand should have been in the game. That's just my personal pick. Like, I just don't see the purpose of him being in the game at all. Then you know but that's me. Then you had Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which I don't want to bring up, but it's to my point. You know, the character roster is not been it got smaller when we came to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Like, the character roster just got shortened. Like, it was just completely short. I think it was like 43 characters altogether. I'm not really sure, but let me know, educate me down below. But Capcom has put out big rosters. Like, this is another big game roster. This had about, with the DLC included, it was about, I think, 60 something characters in this game. Street Fighter Cross Tekken, with all the DLC included, it was about 60 something characters, I believe. It might have been more. Let me know in the comments down below if it was more or not. But I'm pretty sure it was 64, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, let me know in the comments down below. So with this, I'm going to do a video for Capcom, and I'm going to do a video for Marvel. So I came across, and it took me a while to get this number down. I looked at the rosters of all these games, and I came across the fact that Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is going to have 52 characters. 26 from Capcom, 26 from Marvel. So let's start on the Capcom side of things in today's video. Now, I did have to take a lot of my personal picks out just to be fair, but let's go down the roster for Capcom, shall we? Start off with number one. Well, is obvious, Ryu. You can't have a Marvel vs. Capcom game without Ryu. He is like the franchise of Street Fighter and the franchise of Marvel vs. Capcom, apparently. So you can't have Marvel vs. Capcom without Ryu. That's like having That's like having. Well, I can't even use that example because they did it before. But it's like using Dante without having Dante in the game. You just can't do it. It's like having Chris Redfield in Resident Evil, but he's not really there. Like you got to have Ryu in this game. Bottom line. So Ryu will be the top pick of Capcom side, of course. He's like the captain, and I think a lot of people will agree with that, and a lot of people will enjoy having Ryu back. Next up, we're gonna go with number two, and that is Morgan. Morgan is been in the game since the beginning, and I think a lot of people. She has a big, huge franchise, and she's more used on the competitive side of things than anything else. So, tournament players will play with her and enjoy her. Everybody else, who's casual gamers and stuff like that, they can get the feel of Morgan and probably enjoy her just as much as the pros would. I personally love Morgan. She's one of my favorite characters on Darkstalkers, and she's one of my favorite characters in Marvel vs. Capcom. She's always been in one of my teams, so I pretty much enjoy that. Next up is Felicia. I mean, you can't. I guess you can't have the game without her. I like her. I never really added her on my team, but I've seen a lot of tournament players play with her, and I've seen a lot of people play with her online. She is a good character. She's well grounded. She's super fast. I think that would be a perfect fit for her to come back to Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and I don't think nobody else would actually argue with that. I like her. A lot of fans like her in the game as well. And I just feel as though she is a good fit for this type of a roster that we're building. Because you gotta have female characters in the game. Like I don't care what anybody say. Like female characters are to me the best characters in the game. They're more unique and they have more hidden combos that people don't usually find out. So she's a good fit and a well welcome comeback. Next up is Chung Li. Like you can't have Marvel vs. Capcom without Chung Li. I love Chung Li. She is one of my favorite female characters of all time. I love Chung Li. I love Chung Li ever since Street Fighter came out. Um, she was real dope in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. She was insanely good in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. She was super good in, you know, all the other fighting games she's been in. So I don't see why they would not add Chung Li to this game. Next up, Tribone. This is one of my picks that I didn't want to put in the game, but a lot of people play with her. So I'm like, I gotta be fair. She is good. She's a well-grounded character. She has a little bit of flaws, but that's just on my take. I don't really like her that much. But she's played through in all the tournaments, and a lot of people play with her. A lot of people like her. So I will agree that she needs to come back for Marvel vs. Capcom 4 and will be a perfect fit for that roster. And I don't see why she would not be in the roster. She needs to be. These are characters that need to be in the base roster, not DLC. This is the base roster. So she needs to be in the base roster, not DLC at all. If you put her as DLC, you're gonna piss a lot of people off. Have her in the base roster. Period. Next up, we're going to go with Strider. I mean, I love Strider. I never really picked him in Marvel vs. Capcom, but I love him as a character. And he is a big tournament player. He's a big tournament character selection. Everybody picks him in their teams when it comes to tournaments. And a lot of people has done some insane comeback combos with this character. I can't wait to see what he can do in Marvel vs. Capcom 4. They should have him in the base roster, not DLC. Capcom, if you're watching this, don't put him DLC. Don't y'all do it. Don't y'all dare put him as DLC. Make sure he's in the base roster. Now, I would be insanely happy if they use this roster that I'm putting out right now as their base roster. I would be awesome because I think I'm picking up for everybody. I'm pretty much thinking everybody's strategies in this game. Next up, Zero. I mean, enough said. It's just he's a fun character. He's good. He's actually insanely good. Actually, when you get when you got a corner combo going, infinite combos is there. Like he is one of the crazy, wacky characters that you can't really figure out till it's too late. So Zero would be a good fit for Marvel vs. Capcom. He's been in since Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I mean, I don't have a problem with him. He's a good character. He's annoying when I fight him online, but other than that, I ain't got no beef with this character. I think he should be in the base roster, and he's a pretty well-grounded character. He could be a spammer too, but I don't really come across people like that. Next up, we're gonna go with Jetta from Marvel's Capcom Infinite. Now, for what I gathered when I was playing with this character, I didn't really do a lot of playing with him. He's pretty good. He had some balance issues before the patch, before I stopped playing the game. But he had some good combos, great air combos, good mix-ups for when I was playing with him before the balance issues came about. He was a pretty okay character for me. He wasn't really my cup of tea for me to be my main, but he had some pretty good mix-ups, solid ground coverage, and I was liking him. But then, it was the balance issues with certain combos I couldn't finish, and it was just irritating. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. But he will be a good fit for this game as well. Next up, Akuma. Now, we can't have Ryu in the game without having at least another counterpart, either Ken or Akuma. And I chose Akuma because I love Akuma. And, he's a good character. He was a great mix-up character in Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3. He was one of my mains. He had great combos, and you can easily take out like 2, 3 characters with this one character and with a couple of combos. So I love Akuma. I think he'll be a good fit. He needs to return for Marvel vs. Capcom 4 to be in the base roster. I'm gonna say that again: base roster, not DLC. Um, I would change a few things about Akuma. Maybe make him the Street Fighter 5 Akuma. I would like that more. Next up, Dante. And I want this Dante. Matter of fact, you can age him up. You can give us the Devil May Cry 5 Dante for all I care. As long as it's not that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Dante. Give us, this Dante with all his Devil May Cry 5 moves. You do that, I ain't got no beef. Dante has always been my main on all my teams. So one way or another, I need to have Dante in this game in the base roster because he is a good, solid character. He has a lot of tools, and not to mention a lot of tournament players love Dante. So I'm pretty sure if they're gonna do the base roster, Dante is going to be in the base roster, guaranteed. There's no way in hell he'll be a DLC character. It's just not possible. It's not. So y'all already know what's coming up next. If we got Dante, y'all know we gonna have my main man, right? Y'all know we gonna have him, right? Virgil, come on out. Virgil needs to be in Marvel vs. Capcom 4. I did say in the beginning I didn't want to bring Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite up, but let's be real. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite did happen, and they left out Virgil. And I think Virgil would have been a good fit for that game, but they didn't do it. So make him part of Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Please make him a part of Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Please, Capcom, put Virgil in the game. Make sure it's Devil May Cry 5 Virgil though. Make sure it's make him older. Make him older. Still give him his swagger. Virgil just got swagger, period. So I don't think they can mess that up. So Virgil is my next pick. Up next, we're going to have a female character in this game. She's part of the Devil May Cry series, and her name is Trish. I mean, we gotta have Trish in the game. I just love Trish. Like, I loved her since Devil May Cry 1. She's always been my favorite character in Devil May Cry series. And I liked her fighting style in Marvel Vs. Capcom 3. Her air dash, her mix-ups, her combos. Like, her combos was really good in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And they was a little bit off on Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but I found the way to get past that, and she was okay in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. She wasn't like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Trish, but she was, a little bit not worse, but she wasn't all there to me. But I think she'll be a good fit for this game. She needs to come back, and she has a lot of fans, and it'll make a lot of fans happy for her to make a big return. And I think for me personally, she will always be on part of my teams if this do happen. Next up, let's bring my man back. I know a lot of people want him back. I want him back too. Let's bring back Captain Commando. Capcom, I don't know what y'all was thinking. Like, why did y'all not pick Captain Commando in Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Why y'all ain't put in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? I don't know. I don't know why y'all dropped the ball with this. Y'all gave his costume out. I mean, come on. It's his first three letters and his first name and last name is Capcom. Like, what the hell, Capcom? Bring Captain Commando back. We miss Captain Commando. Me personally, I missed him like crazy. I need him on my squad. So Captain Commando will be back. I hope he'll be back. He'll have some good moves, stuff like that, and I think he'll be a good fit for this game. He just needs to come back. He's an awesome character. Next up, my main man, Frank West. Like, who doesn't love Frank West, honestly? Like, I don't think nobody hates Frank West. I mean, there's a couple of haters out there, but I'm pretty sure there's more lovers than haters of Frank West. He's just a wacky, funny, goofy ass character. And I just love Frank, but I love his outros and everything. I just love everything about Frank. He's a good character. I love to see him back. Make him the base roster. He's just good. He's a really solid, good character. I love Frank West. Please bring Frank West back. It'll make a lot of fans happy, including myself. Up next, we are going to be bringing back a badass character, Wesker. I don't know why he wasn't in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I'm kind of glad he wasn't, because that'd made me even more madder. That's not even a word. It'd just pissed me off more. But Marvel vs. Capcom 4, bring back my man Wesker. Like, he is a fan favorite. He's always in tournaments. He's always on a tournament team. Bring my man Wesker back. You can tweak him a little bit, but I'm pretty sure you don't really need to do too much. I would just change his level 3. I would make it a little bit more. I'll add more hits to his level 3 than anything else. So bring back my man Wesker, tweak him a little bit, give him a stronger level 3, and we good. I wouldn't have no problems with that. Wesker should be coming back. He's a good character. A lot of fans love him. A lot of tournament players love him. I don't see what's the problem. Bring him back. He's a welcome stay. Nobody will have a problem with that whatsoever. Up next, bring back Colonel Guile. I don't know what Capcom was thinking when they just dropped him off for the last 2 games. Like, bring him back. Bring back Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Guile. You can make him into this. You can give him the Street Fighter 5, appearance, but give him the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 feel of Guile, if that makes any sense. I'm pretty sure he'll be a good ground character. He wouldn't be a rush down character. He'll be more of a strategist type of a character. And I think that is what this game is missing a little bit. So bring Gao back and let's move on to my next pick and my next character, Jen. I don't know. I'm bringing back a lot of people from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but it needs to be said. These characters just fell off the face of the earth. It's like Capcom forgot about these awesome characters, but I got news for you, Capcom. We ain't forget. We have not forgotten about these characters. We missed these characters and want them back, but we want them back in the main roster. These characters need to be in the main roster. I think with his move set, it would be good to get past spams and stuff like that. He will be a good character to bring back, and I think a lot of fans will be excited to see him back, and you will gain a lot more support with this. Up next, any version of Mega Man. I'm going to say this again. Any version of Mega Man will be accepted as long as Mega Man is in the damn game, Capcom. Don't mess this up. Mega Man has put you on the map. Put some respect on his name. If it wasn't for Mega Man, it wouldn't be a Capcom. Just saying. Add Mega Man in this game. I don't care what type of Mega Man you add in this game. It could be Mega Man X. It could be Mega Man 11. It could be the Mega Man from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Just make sure you add Mega Man in this game. Add him! Sorry. A little rage right there. Up next, Kimi! Add Kimi back in the game. Awesome character. Awesome moveset. Awesome combos. Her air combos will be amazing, especially if it's a Street Fighter V Cammy. Her air combos will be amazing. It would just look so beautiful on a PS5 screen or an Xbox Series X screen. It would just be so damn beautiful to see her do air combos, combos on the ground, all that type of all that stuff will be acceptable and good to look at. Bring Cammy back to Marvel vs. Capcom 4. I don't see why they don't do this. They should have brought her back in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite or even Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But make sure you bring Cammy back. She's dearly missed. I miss her a lot. I need Cammy on my squad. Just to make people mad and rage quit. It needs to happen. Make it happen, Capcom. Make it happen. Up next, we have Jill. Any version of Jill would do. Honestly, any version of Jill would be acceptable. I would like to see Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Jill. I would even like to see I would like to see Resident Evil 3 Jill. Actually, it wouldn't make a difference to me at all. As long as Jill is in the game. I would need her to be in the game. It would be a good fit. She has a lot of fans, and a lot of people would love to see her again. Me personally, I would love to see her again. I need to see her again. Up next, we are going to be talking about some other characters that need to be in this game, but seriously, Capcom, put Jill in the game. Just put Jill back in the game. She's needed. Up next, we have Sagat. Sagat has never been in a Marvel vs. Capcom game, so I think he will be real unique, and I really believe that he can be a great asset to the game as far as big characters is involved. He would be kind of slow pace, but it would be. I don't even think you can make Sagat slow in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom 4. He could be a ground character. I don't think you probably won't see that many much flashy air combos, but he will be a good welcome. It's new. We like new. Bring him back. Bring him in the game. I mean, I wouldn't have no complaints. He might be a spamming character though, but just bring him in the game. Let's stay on this Street Fighter's train and bring my girl Laura into the mix. Honestly, I think Laura will be the perfect fit for this game. Her air combos will be amazing. Her ground combos will be on point and flashy and smooth as hell. I love Laura in Street Fighter Five. Like she's one of my main characters in that game. I think she will be a perfect, awesome fit for this game. I don't think she has fans. She don't have a big enough fan base, but look, I'm looking at flashiness along with the specials. She will be a perfect fit for this game. Again, this is how I would break down the Marvel vs. Capcom 4 Capcom roster side of things. And I think that would be a good idea for them to do that, Capcom. You can do this, you can't do it, I don't care. If you put her in the base roster, cool. DLC, I would pay for. If she was a DLC character, I would pay for, honestly. Up next, keep it going with the Street Fighter characters. Let's go with Juri. Her leg combos, Marvel vs. Capcom fighting style. Come on, people. It, it's a perfect fit. You can't go wrong with that. It's a love interest. Like I don't know why Capcom don't put more of the female characters in Marvel vs. Capcom fighting games. I just don't see why they don't do this. They are good characters. She her fighting style with Marvel vs. Capcom, you know, button configuration stuff like that, it will be a perfect match. It will be good, especially if they keep the Marvel vs. or the ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 fighting style. This would be a good fit for Jerry to be in this game. I don't think nobody will have a problem with this. I think a lot of people will actually be ecstatic for that. So let's keep it going with more characters I think people would love to see. Sheva. I think if they add Sheva into Marvel vs. Capcom 4, she can take over BB Hood character. You make sure you put this costume in the game though. She can have a lot she could do a lot like what Chris did, with all the guns and stuff like that. And she would be a good fit for this game. I think she would be an awesome fit. I love her. I love her in Resident Evil 5. We never seen her after Resident Evil 5, so her being in Marvel Capcom 4 would be an awesome surprise. And a lot of people will be like, oh, really? I can't wait to see how she plays. Like, I would actually be like, oh, so now I can't wait to see her gameplay. Bringing the wow factor and surprisingness into the game will make people more willing to pay for the game. So let's go with the next character who needs to be in the Marvel vs. Capcom game. Leon S. Kennedy. I am replacing Chris Redfield with Leon because let's be honest, Leon is just better. Yeah, I said it. Leon is just better. Now I'm probably gonna get roasted in the comment section because of this, but it is what it is. I think Leon is the far better Resident Evil character than Chris is. He has martial arts training. He can use a knife, gun, all types of stuff. He has fighting skills. He will be a good fit. I would like to see him in this game. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Leon in a Marvel vs. Capcom game? I'll wait. Let me know. Yeah, exactly. Nobody would have a problem with that whatsoever. So Leon Kennedy should make an appearance in Marvel vs. Capcom 4 in the base roster. And let's think about this is the 25th character on the Capcom side. So last but not least, we're going to think about the last character. It has to be a wow factor. Another character who has never been in a Marvel vs. Capcom game. And you're probably thinking, who? Who did you? It took a while to think about it, but Jubei. Jubei would be the last pick for me for the 26 characters from Capcom side of things for Marvel vs. Capcom. He could bring a bunch of demons out to grab you to do more damage and air combos and stuff like that. He can bring he could bring his friends from Unimission 2 characters in the level 3. They beat the hell out of you and do a big explosion, stuff like that. I think he would be a perfect fit for this game. I think this would right now, if I seen this roster for Capcom, I would immediately love to buy this game. I'm like, okay, I got a mixture of characters I've never seen before, characters that I love, and characters that I miss. So let me know in the comments down below, who would you pick on the Capcom side of things for your roster for Marvel vs. Capcom 4. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new, hit the bell so you make sure you're notified every time I put out a new video, and I will see you guys tomorrow for a Dragon Ball Fighter video that I just got done recording and edited and put it up. It'll be up tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm out.
I'm trying to cop me a new chain. And with the block we move things. Black mask, call me Bruce Wayne. Black shades like I'm Johnny Cage. Baby girl, these designer frames. They not from here, they Italian made. My main chick look like